Hey guys, wanted to make a quick video. If you haven't seen the video from Road to A on bike choice, I would highly recommend you go check it out. Fantastic video. The only thing I wanted to cover here on my video is I thought about this for a while. As I've mentioned in previous videos, your bike choice is going to determine how you perform. And one of the things that most people often overlook, especially when they're using the zwifterbike.app site, is themselves as a rider. If you're not looking at your performance abilities, if you're not looking at your power to weight ratio, then you might choose a bike that is suitable for the course, but not suitable for you. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to me from the editing room, so that way I can walk through exactly what I mean.
So this is what I mean when I say that your bike choice is gonna determine how you perform. And really, I think it's also a big, probably more wheel choice than it is bike choice. And here's what I mean by that. So if you go to the zwifterbikes.app, you can pick your route, pick your bike, or pick the bike options. I personally have it set to level 80 and 3.5 million drops. And the reason why I did that is because some bikes aren't going to be available to me right now, but as I do group rides and stuff like that, as I earn more drops, it'll open up the possibilities of what I can choose. I have my power set to 400 watts. You can adjust it to what you feel you are capable of. So most races I actually average, my average power is somewhere around like 230 to 260, depending on, what kind of draft I'm able to maintain inside the pack. But I have it set to 400, so that way I can see what the, with the aero savings, what's the most benefit I can get. And as Road to A mentioned, you get your, you get a display here of the bikes and wheels that they recommend. But here's where I feel like what's changed my perception of this website and what it has to offer. So if you go to the bike option here and change to frames or wheel sets. So first I'll go to frames and then change this from this view here to graph. If you look at the graph, and I'll scroll down so I can zoom out quite a bit so you can see the entire graph. If you look at the choices, you can see that basically a majority of the bikes give you aerodynamic advantage, climbing advantage, so lightweight, which is the climb savings. And some of them give you aerodynamic savings on the flats. But most of the bikes give you a negative. So this is the total savings, negative, positive. So the way I'm reading this is the slower bikes give you a negative savings, as you can see by the Buffaloes with carbon, those guys here. The faster bikes give you a positive savings, which is most of your other performance bikes. Now, if we change it to wheels, and so before I switch the wheels, so in this case, the Pinarello Dogma F 2024 is right in this area. You see, you get good aerodynamics, but really good in climbing. Something like the, I think it's the Specialized Venge S-Works. You see, you get, if you look at just the savings on the flats, you get, really good savings on the flats with the Venge, with the uranium nuclear, and with the felt AR. Those are pretty top contending bikes. You have the Chapter 2 bike here, or Cervelo S. Can't quite tell. The easiest way to do it is if you kind of screenshot this and make like a line across, a flat line across, using a photo editor or something like that. It'll help you kind of pinpoint exactly which one it is. But if you switch the bikes, or sorry, if you switch the wheels, same thing, go to the bar chart. Now you start seeing the performance on how the wheels do. That's too far up. So you're going to see, obviously, the Zip 858 Super 9, which is a disc wheel, and the DT Swiss Arc, which is a disc wheel, give you really good savings on aerodynamics on the flats. But when it comes to climbing, the 858s edge out the DT Swiss just by a little bit, just by a hair. And so when you start looking at what you lose in performance, not just what you gain, but what you lose in performance, then you can start narrowing down what choice is going to work best for you. The Zip 858s, just the standard wheel, in my opinion, is one of the best wheels to have, because even though you don't get any savings on the climbs, you don't get any detriment on the climb either. So you don't get a penalty for climbing with these wheels. So all you get is a maxed out aerodynamic performance. So downhill on the flats, you're going to do excellent. Climbing, it's 100% your power, but you're not getting any, again, you're not losing performance on the climbs. Versus the NB78s have a little bit, so this is the 858s right here. This is Zip 858s. So the NB78s, you get a little bit less aerodynamic savings, so a little bit less savings on the flats, but you do get a benefit on the climbs. And so when it comes to best all-around wheel, this is always the choice that I go with, because even though I can perform better on flats with the DT Swiss disc wheels, I know that if there's any sort of elevation, 1-2%, I'm going to start hitting these negative numbers, and I'm going to start losing performance. And ultimately what that means for me is, as someone who's more of a sprinter, puncher type of profile, I can't afford to lose watts while I'm climbing. If I'm going to burn energy on climbing, and I'm looking at it as, you're probably going to spend, and I don't know the exact math on this, but you're probably going to spend anywhere between, a third to probably 2/3 of your energy on climbing. And the reason why there's such a big gap there is because it depends on the climb. Some climbs are, anything under 4%, you're basically still going to get a good draft savings. So you're not going to be as impacted by the loss of aerodynamic performance as you will on a pure climb. But at the same time, you're still going to put out, maybe 10, 20 more watts to keep up with the group to get those, maybe 10-ish watts savings, depending on what you get on the climb itself. And so I'm looking at it as, if it takes me, so if you look at it from a mathematics of speed, if you're climbing at 10 kilometers per hour, but on the flats you're going 35, 40 kilometers an hour, then you're spending more time on the climbs, depending on the length of the climb, and you're going to waste more energy on the climbs. So if you can save on the climbs by either getting a wheel that's not going to give you a penalty for climbing, or getting a wheel that's going to give you benefit without a penalty for climbing, then you're going to perform better on rolling terrain, on, longer climbs, stuff like that. And so that's just my mindset going into it. Again, when it comes to racing, everybody, makes bike choices different, which is, great, which is why I love the video that Rotate put out, because he, clearly explains that idea of, personal preference and personal choice. So I'm going to pass it back to Green Screen Me. Take care.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it helps you identify what bike you want to choose. Let me know in the comments below which bike you feel is the best choice for you. I personally like going with the Pinarello and the NV wheel sets as a good all-arounder bike. As much as I like the Tron bike, I feel like it's not the bike for me and don't feel like it performs well. Although I will say, when I need to do quick bursts to catch up to the Robo Pacers, it works fantastic for those little short spurts. So maybe that's a good choice for, sprint type stages where the rest of the terrain is kind of negotiable. And the last thing I'll say is that everybody is different. Everybody has different potential. What I will say for me is that as I increase my performance through diet, nutrition, and strength, I also want to have the right bike that's going to complement my skills and abilities. So take care. See you on the next one.